you ain't sure. Lord, please don't let my phone start to ring. That's when I'll hear a voice that sing, oi, telling me she cannot trust in me. And that is just as far as she can see. Comparing me to her friends. That's how this problem it began. Oh, so you think I'm keeping sweetheart, and you don't want me round them. Girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have no problem. No problem, yeah. Don't stop, you don't wanna stop. 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 If I decide to shave or cut my hair, or change the denim pants that I wear, Lord, please don't let me put alone on my clothes. Oh, girl, you sniff me like a dog with your nose. If I ask you to make out with me, you'll turn your back so quickly. Hey! Telling me go back where I just come from. Oh, girl, you really think I done? Oh, so you think I'm keeping sweetheart, and you don't want me round them. Girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have no problem. No problem, no problem. Don't mind the water. Oh. Don't do it, man, don't do it. Let me tell you something, y'all. If this relationship should have any means, stop accusing me of those things. I am a hard-working, independent young man. Oh, girl, just doing the best I can. Just doing the best I can. I know that you're a beautiful girl, but there's more like you in this world. For the way you start to act and do, oh, girl, you must be sweethearting too. You must see think I feel. Oh, so I think I'm keeping sweetheart, and you don't want me round them. Girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have that problem. No problem. Oh, so you think I'm keeping sweetheart. Oh, and you don't want me round them. Girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have no problem. I say you think I'm keeping sweetheart. Oh, and you don't want me round them. Listen, y'all, just do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have no problem. I say, listen to me, man. So you think I'm keeping sweetheart. Oh, and you don't want me round them. Listen, girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, I promise. Listen to me, y'all. You listen. Woman, if you think I'm keeping sweetheart, and you don't want me round them, watch it. Girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have that problem. You know what I tell them? If you think I'm keeping sweetheart, don't think it. And you don't want me round them, girl, do what you're supposed to do at home. Oh, girl, and we won't have no problem.
It's time to show us the crush you. On stage, moving like a clown, tugging like no one can touch you. She got style, finesse, clean her at a whole name across the chest. The E-M-I-L-Y, yes I. Yeah, that's me. There's only one number one, shining bright like Bahamian sun. Sweeter than sugar plus tempting. Here's the lady be representing. So who wanna test the skills? Jungle queen, dress to kill. So you better clear the way, The queen is here to stay.
Yeah, that cost this. Queen coming through. Leave the judgment to the people. Let the music be the test. See what rhythm make them happy. And time will take care of the rest. Just recognize the one who's the leader. Respect the one who's in front. If you continue to bring the pressure, then I will shake up my body, work up my body, yuck up my body. Let me hear you say, sweet Emily, you better get it with sweet Emily, 'cause I am here to stay, sweet Emily. Only one like me, the only queen of Junkanoo, that's me, sweet Emily. You better get it with sweet Emily, 'cause I am here to stay, sweet Emily. Only one like me, the only queen of Junkanoo, that's 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 me. Hey, shake up, watch me come through. Shake up, clear the way. Shake up, watch this. Shake up, hey. I am the only one, sweet Emily. No one like me. I am the only one, Jungle Queen.
Emily is a tropical island on the Gulf Stream side. I sail into Bimini Harbor on the evening tide. There the shore will dance a merengue till the morning comes. Pick two coconuts out of the tree, fill them up with rum. Everybody lay low in their money, oh, ain't nothing new. I recall that's what I came here for. Everybody lay low in their money, oh, ain't nothing new. I've been to Germany before. Then skin diving sort of the island, them the boys and me. You would believe the underwater visibility. Though he went down 65 feet, how that boy can dive. He pulled his leg and he shot the grouper right between the eyes. Everybody lay low and Bimini, oh, ain't nothing new. I recall that's what I came here for. Everybody lay low in Bimini, oh, ain't nothing new. I've been to Bimini before. Say hon.
If you're just arriving, please note that our vendors booth, they're open right to the west side. You have the Nutty Bavarian, Big Blue, and Princess. We have 4 Caribbean We have 4 Caribbean food places for you. We have Divine Flavor, Bahamian Food. They have conch fritters over there. Pepper and Spice, Jamaican Food. Laurie's Kitchen. They have some Haitian food, griot, tailor-made, limeade, Junior's Jerk Pit, Jamaican food, Lime at Home, Trinidadian food. And we also have fries with benefits, burgers, wraps, loaded fries, cool and refreshing drinks, water, soda, you name it, it's over there. Our pre-show gets underway at 5 p.m. Stay tuned.
Continuous to be this tropical island in the Bahamas. I love Bimini. Everybody lay low in Bimini. Oh, ain't nothing new. I recall that's what I came here for. Everybody lay low in Bimini. Oh, ain't nothing new. I've been to Bimini before. Lay low in Bimini. Oh, ain't nothing new. I recall that's what I came here for. Everybody lay low in Bimini. Oh, ain't nothing new. I've been to Bimini before. I've been to Bimini
non-stop. We ain't watching no clock. This party can't done. We ain't finished having we fun. DJ turn the music up. Bartender fill up my cup. We party all night, all day, every day. Hey, we tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the morning. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the. Cause we party non-stop. We ain't watching no clock. This party can't done. We ain't finished having we fun. DJ turn the music up. Bartender fill up my cup. We party all night, all day, every day. Hey. Turn up the bass, turn up the treble. It's time to take this party to the next level. Still drinking but still sober. We come to take it over. And if you won't go home, you going home alone. Party from night till day. Till let the record play. I can't hear the music, but DJ. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the morning. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the. Cause we party non-stop. We ain't watching no clock. This party can't done. We ain't finished having we fun. DJ turn the music up. Bartender fill up my cup. We party all night, all day, every day. Ooh, now look, see about this time. Time to get up and join the line. Festival time again. Fly from city to island. Up in the club, the place down. Fire marshal won't shut us down. These people head hard. They don't want to hear that. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the morning. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the. Cause we party non-stop. We ain't watching no clock. This party can't done. We ain't finished having we fun. DJ turn the music up. Bartender fill up my cup. We party all night, all day, every day. Hey. Come 5 o'clock, oh, we be by the dock. Drinking rum and Red Bull. Pull up bed stack full. Hold up, ain't nobody told ya. We come to take control ya. And we going home. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the morning. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the. Cause we party non-stop. We ain't watching no clock. This party can't done. We ain't finished having we fun. DJ turn the music up. Bartender fill up my cup. We party all night, all day, every day. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the morning. We tell the sun bye in the evening. We tell the sun hi in the. Cause we party non-stop. We ain't watching no clock. This party can't done. We ain't finished having we fun. DJ turn the music up. Bartender fill up my cup. We party all night, all day, every day.
When I'm walking down them rocky, narrow dirt roads with a basket of potatoes on my head, oh, don't you worry, I come from down home. That's where the island folks bake their potato bread. They bake it down home, outside in the Dutch oven down home, wrapped in banana leaf down home. My, it tastes so sweet down home. Yeah. If you're looking for a little entertainment, I'll tell you, you don't have to travel far. Cause them rake and scrape boys will excite you. On weekends they play at the neighbor's bar. They'll make you dance down home. They'll send you in a trance down home. You'll shuffle your feet down home. Cause the rake and scrape so sweet down home. Yeah. When your body's feeling low and run down, and you think you need a little pick-me-up, boil some love vine, 5 fingers and strong bark. Then every day, drink a cup, it'll build you up down home. It'll make you strong down home. Got plenty of iron down home. Make you strong like a lion down home. Yeah. ask you where you're from, tell them you come from down home. You mustn't be ashamed, some great names came from down home. You want stew, fish and Johnny cake, for goodness sake, let's go down home. We could catch the mail, and then we'll sail on down home. It's morning time and you feel like having tea. Just remember, you're not in the city. So here's the menu, old island style. Just up in the bush, they're growing wild. You got sour leaf down home. You got fever grass down home. You got grass and leaves down home. Dill seed and peppermint leaf down home. Hey, 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 hey. I remember those cold, cold winters. Our bodies would tremble through the night. Ah, but Mama, she was so caring. She sewed flower pipes together. She snuggled us tight. She snuggled us tight down home. Through the winter nights down home. We covered with flower pie down home. Sometimes we crocus by down home. Yeah, 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 yeah. At Christmas time it was so exciting. Facing costumes was the thing to do. Then we waited for Boxing Day morning. That's when we celebrated Junkanoo. We licked them cowbells down home. We beat them goatskin drums down home. We blow our bugles down home. We blow our whistles down home. And when you're feeling stressed, the place to rest is down home. Under a coconut tree, down by the sea, down home. And when you're feeling hot, something would hit the spot, you'll find it down home. Just bring along a pitcher, we'll drink plenty of switcher, down home. Growing up on the island was so much fun, especially when nighttime rolled around. Cause Papa would tell us bedtime stories. He told us stories till we were sleeping sound. He told us stories down home about Boogie and Robbie down home, about Jack and the Glory down home. Then he'd say at the end of the story down home, he made us laugh down home. We went ha 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 down home. We didn't have much down home. Ah, but we had so much love down home. Papa come from down home. He met my mama down home. They taught us the golden rules down home. In a little house across from the school down home. Down home. Telling the truth down home. Down home. Ooh, down home. Down home, boys, help me sing. Down home. Sing it sweet, make my ear ring. Down
Ah, yeah! Lassie Love Boys back, y'all. Are you ready for this? We're coming for you now. Here we go. Watch it out. Mind what you do, boy. Mind what you say. Tell me who made you perfect in every single way. Stop acting like the sun. There's only shine on you. For everyone else's rainy day, and your sky is always blue. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, you don't bone too. The same way somebody bring you news, they could do news about you. So don't you know that dog will bring bone,
wondering why your friends all kick you in your hip. You cause them too much conflict. Everything you hear, you say. You can't keep nothing in. You got to let it out. Better learn to hold your tongue, boy, before you get whopped inside your mouth. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, bone too. The same day somebody bring you news, they got no news about you. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, he don't bone too. The bad things that you do to others, they'll come back to haunt you. Oh yeah! Let that get out, boy! Oh, I can feel it now! Can't you feel it up there? Last year the boys rocking the show now. Good for that. When you keep your tongue, boy, you may say a lie. Some hiding round the bush all night, trying to break up husband and wife. Some running your mouth like water would when they may line burst. That's the easiest way, my friend. You could end up in a hearse. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, he don't want to. The same way somebody bring you news, they could have news about you. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, he don't want to. The bad things that you do to others, they'll come back to haunt you. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, he don't want to. Watch it, Uncle Dirty coming, boy. Watch it, mama. Somebody bring you news, they could have news about you. Oh, look here, everybody getting down, look here. Don't you know that dog will bring bone, he don't want to. March your road style. The bad things that you do, mama don't like I'm back to haunt you. That's the way we do it on the island, boy. So don't you know that dog will bring bone, he don't want to. Oh boy, do you think, yeah, boy? The same way somebody bring you news, they got no news about you. Reagan scrape for you one time. Don't you know that dog will bring bone, bone too? This is the way we do it, y'all. Last you know, boys, one time. The bad things that you do to others, they'll come back to haunt you. Real Reagan scrape.
I want no raking and scraping in here.
No, mama, we ain't gonna rake and scrape. We can clean the house just like you say. That's right, right? Yeah. We rake and scrape.
All right now.
Mama don't like no raking and scraping in here. Mama don't like no raking and scraping in here. Hey, we don't care what mama don't like, gonna rake and scrape it anyhow. Mama don't like no raking and scraping in here. Now mama don't know that we are up. I ain't talking about the way she look. Rake and scrape that's pumping through our veins. We can't wait till she go out. We gonna rake and scrape beside the stuff. Yeah, the neighbors scream and shout. As soon as mama got to the door, turn around and she said, "No raking and scraping on B-back after 4. Clock on the wall, say after 9. Say, fellas, all we got is time. Not knowing what mama had in mind. Mama don't want no raking and scraping in here. Mama don't want no raking and scraping in here. We don't care what mama don't like, no raking and scraping anyhow. Mama don't like no raking and scraping in here. Now mama walk around the block, we thinking she's on the bus stop, listening hard from the neighbor's yard. Just as we start to hit a lip, she busts inside, didn't think you slick, one back and stop and cross my lip. Oh, mama say, boys, I ain't gonna lie, from afar you never sung in tight. Let me show you dance from way back in the days. Then mama started to kill the roast beef, the fellas thought she was speaking out. Pick that rhythm, nasty dough, boys. Oh, Uncle Joe, and you're walking down on the road. When they start down the road, and you are down the road, you American came and you go. Mama, she loved this breaking and scraping in here. Mama, she loved this breaking and scraping in here. She don't care what the people say, she's gonna rake and scrape it anyway. Mama, she loved this breaking and scraping in here. Mama, she loved this breaking and scraping in here. Mama, she loves this break and scrape it in here. She don't care what the people say, she's gonna rake and scrape it anyway. Mama, she loves this break and scrape it in here. Zaza, 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 Zaza,
Yeah, mama, you like this, mama?
I like it. You look good like your
You
pa.
dancing, mama? You can't believe this.
I mean, your pa gonna roast me, gonna roast me, gonna kill roast me.
If you're just joining and just arriving, our food court is open. It's right across the street there. At the entrance that you came in, we have 4 Caribbean dishes over there for you from 4 countries. Divine Flavor, Bahamian food, Pepper and Spice, Jamaican food, Laurie's Kitchen, serving Haitian food, and Lime at Home, Trinidadian food. So, our show begins at 6 p.m., our official show. You have time to make your way right across to the food court.
Central Andros, small bay, coral reef, all Andros Regatta is showing off their print and culture. Mangrove Key, hospitality, sweet, sweet, sweet. When they hear the river, spirits from the broken reefs, join your voices together. Yeah, how they sing. Oh my God. She wake, 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 and rose and she wake. Oh my.
Go to Elutra, go to Cat Island, Ron Key, Exuma. Go down to Freeport, go to Medwana, go to Long Island, Andros, Inagua. Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island and say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
Obviously at the World Indoor Medal, these now two some of the fastest women in their event. Shauna Milowibo, the only woman, the second woman to ever become double Olympic champion in the 400 meters. Sharika Jackson now the second fastest woman in history to run the 200 meters. And to think about the fact that just a few years ago, these were just high school athletes, young collegiate athletes that were right here.
Excited about attending the Carifta Games.
Exactly. And what's so special is that for both of them, their last Carifta Games is right on this same track in 2013. And the games came back obviously in 2018. And from then we've even seen some athletes who participated in that games who went on to do great things, like Brianna Williams, who went on to become one of the youngest Olympic gold medalists there is. You know, it's certainly an outstanding feeling. It's electrifying. The atmosphere here today is unlike any other thing. We are seeing the excitement on the faces of the young athletes, on the faces of the government ministers that are here.
Everyone, you know what, and it does something so wonderful, Devontae, for the junior athletes, many of whom are in the stands right now, and eagerly awaiting the continued launch. This is the longest launch ever, by the way, and that's how we're doing it. Listen, it's 50 years, y'all. That's how the Bahamas is doing it, but it does so good for them to see the government officials, the coaches, their parents, their friends, and many other officials, the LOC, and a number of other officials and dignitaries out to support them.
Right.
We are here for you.
Right.
That message is really strong.
And I'm sure that's even going to push them even further to do even better during next year's competition, because usually when they're traveling, they don't get to travel with their entire family. They don't get to have mommy, uncle, grammy, auntie in the stands with their cowbells. They may travel with just their mom and their coach, but now you're going to have the support of the entire island. The entire nation is going to be here at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium to support them and to fuel them on their journey to greatness, on their road to gold.
On their road to gold, right? Yep. Absolutely. Of course, the road to 50 was officially launched this morning. It's just continuing, you all, which is really, really super, that what's happening here on this Queen Elizabeth Center compound that's really turned into Carifta headquarters as well. Devontae, please take us through. Now, this is going to be officially launched in a little bit, but it's there and it is so significant, quite frankly, and that is the Legends Walk. Please tell us about that and the athletes that are featured on that.
So the Legends Walk is obviously that pathway leading up to the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, and there is featured some of the most outstanding athletes that we've ever seen, whether they're Olympians, whether they play in the NBA, whether they've played in the MLB. All of these athletes that have done outstanding things for the Bahamas, that have taken the Bahamas, the little small island nation of 400,000 people, to the world. We're seeing tonight, obviously, Shauna Miller-Weibo, Stephen Gardner, Anthony Strachan to be inducted into that Legends Walk.
Yeah.
And they're legends in themselves.
They
you know,
are.
look at some of the things that they've done in their 10-year careers, even if that much. You know?
Yeah, very. The you know, not a career that's really extended over the years, but quite significant.
I should say world indoor champion, world youth, world junior, world outdoor champion, and double Olympic champion.
Yes.
Those are things that we haven't seen commonly, and like I said, that all spurred right here at this track,
Right
the
here
old
on
Thomas
this
A. Robinson
track. I
Stadium.
know, right?
Imagine the training sessions that she had there, going on to the newer track, competing there, and now going all over the world. And
All
that's been
over
the
the world.
reality for all of these athletes.
For all of these athletes, including the ones in countries around the region,
Right.
starting in their humble areas and their humble beginnings before they even were able to obviously see the advancement of their track facilities. But again, using that as strength, as determination, as encouragement and inspiration to go out and show the world, regardless of how we train. Because, you know, it was a little fun poking some time ago about, oh, this is how they train, and this is what they do, and this is what they eat. No, but the thing is, the region, it works, and the region stands proud of its sons and daughters who go out and do amazing things. And those of us who are not perhaps novices and not sports casters and sports reporters stand back and are proud and cheer on just as loudly when they do extremely well. What you hear in the background right now is a performance by one of the community bands. They have performed many places: the United States, Europe, of course, in countries in the region, the Bahamas Bass Brand, and it's a number of other performances that are set. The official ceremonies here this evening will get started at 6 o'clock. But right now, what those who are already sort of just piled into this seating area are enjoying is performances from the Bass Brand, and a number of other performances are set to take place as well this evening. I want to give you all an idea, and Devontae, this is how it's going to shape up, even for Carifta and even more. And so this is really awesome. So a number of vendor booths, they call it the Carifta Food Court, okay? So a number of vendor booths are already set up. I'll give you an example of the Nutty Bavarian is special nuts that are set up. The Big Blue and Princess natural drinks, Divine Flavor Bahamian food, Pepper and Spice, that's Jamaican, Laurie's Kitchen, Haitian food, and good griot, I understand. The griot and that cabbage dish.
Yes, pickles.
Oh man, that is so awesome. I haven't had it for a while, but it's so good. The tailor-made limeade is also here. Junior's Jerk Pit, Jamaican food. The lime at home, Trinidadian food. Fries with benefits, of course, that's just typical burgers, etc. And cool and refreshing drinks. And so, again, and this is going to be expanded, Devontae, as you can imagine, come next year when Carifta really begins to sort of take shape and settle in and the games begin.
Right. And I guess, Shanique, you just think about how this will impact the small man. You just read off a list of vendors there. These games, not only are they coming for the sports, but they are going to bring hundreds of athletes, hundreds of supporters that will come, and that money will trickle down into the economy. The small vendors will begin to see that trickle down effect, and that really shapes up to how magnificent sports in paradise is, and how much it can impact the entire Bahamas. And that, I think, that is why the Carifta Games is so important. At the beginning of the Carifta Games, when we started back in 1972, only about 6 countries were able to host the games with total facilities. Those countries were Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and Bermuda. And since then, we've seen so many.
I noticed you didn't call Jamaica in that first bunch, and so they weren't even up to standard in terms of facilities to host the Carifta Games.
But since then, we've had so many other countries that have been able to host this event. Small islands of the Cayman Islands able to host the Carifta Track and Field Games. Jamaica, obviously, one of the sprint capitals of the world, now has a huge stadium, able to even host some international events if possible.
Absolutely. Devontae, I am happy that again you're bringing that insight there to just hear where the games began and the fact that it's gotten so successful, and we have gotten the attention of the world to such an extent that the Carifta Games have been declared the world's number one developmental meet, which is so amazing for us, our athletes. And so the thing is, it's not to say, I'm going to compete at the Carifta Games. No. This is where you get noticed.
Yes.
This is where you get noticed.
Yes.
And so these athletes know that. Many countries are putting in the work. Earlier today, we had sports journalist Terry from St. Lucia on the broadcast. He talked about how St. Lucia is preparing, and I'm certain every country can say the same thing. You spoke with, and you did the news conference earlier today and asked questions. You heard that the Bahamas is preparing,
doing the work,
practicing, and putting in the work every day.
Yep.
And so but it's just so amazing just to see the discipline these athletes develop from this point.
Right. Shanique, I'm in a group right now with some track coaches, some track parents, so on and so forth. So we exchanged some track news. At this hour, Shanique, even though this event is happening here right now, there are athletes at the old Thomas and Robinson Stadium that are actively training, getting back in shape. Right now is cross-country season. In the new year, they'll start to do some more track and field stuff, and then the season gears up, and they're going to do some club meets, some back-to-school meets. There, of course, there are inter-school meets, and then there are school meets like the BAISS, GSSSA, and obviously in Jamaica, they have the Champs meet, obviously Carifta Trials at the ending of March, and then into April, it's showtime.
It's showtime.
It's showtime.
And so it keeps the athletes warm. It keeps them obviously already active.
Yes.
So that when they come to this meet, they're able to perform it. Now, Devontae, this is the 9th time the Bahamas will host the Carifta Games?
Yes. This is the 9th time. The first time would have been the 5th edition. That would have been back in 1976. Right back at...
Right. It was very, very soon since it was launched. After it was launched,
Right. It's very close. Like I said, that was back in 1976. We've hosted it about 8 times since then. The most recent being back in 2018 here at the Thomas and Robinson Stadium. And then the first time it was held right back in this new stadium was in 2013. That was when the track was still red. I don't know if you remember that.
I think I do.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it was a great time. As I mentioned, the Bahamas took home the Austin Seeley Award with Shawnee Miller Weibo back in that year. That was that was simply electrifying. I remember being in high school, sitting in the stands. I remember saying, I want to go to a Carifta Games next year.
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to the next year, but I got to experience a few others, obviously coming back in 2018 and now going back to Jamaica last year, and now it's going to be here at home again. I'm sure for young track lovers like myself, some people that may not get the opportunity to be on the track would love the sport, as well as for those athletes, it's going to be an amazing experience to get out there in front of a home crowd and do what they love to do.
It absolutely is, Devontae, and that is just so amazing. Of course, we know that the Athletes Village is set for one of the local hotels here. They always certainly make the athletes, Bahamians and others, feel extremely comfortable and sure that everything that they need is in place for them. And so that is the LOC is obviously paying a lot of attention to that to ensure that facility is up to par.
Right. That facility is actually the Breezes Hotel, a very popular all-inclusive hotel here on the island of New Providence. We are told that arrangement is costing the LOC some $1.2 million. And that's just to ensure that our athletes are comfortable, that they are well fed. When they go to bed tonight, there's no issues because you're competing and you're going, every Carifta Games, every country that hosts the Carifta Games wants the athletes to set records, to do their absolute best, no matter which country they come from. So I'm sure that those athletes, when they arrive in the Bahamas, probably a day or two before the competition, they're going to be in the hotel, they're going to get to enjoy the beach, they're going to get to enjoy the food, the cuisine of the Bahamas. Most importantly, they're going to be comfortable to ensure that they perform to the best of their abilities heading into competition.
Absolutely. Can you talk about the rivalry? You have, and guys, you hear that, as I told you, a number of community bands are performing here this evening before the official start of this evening's ceremonies. The Urban Renewal Band is now making its way in this area, just to the delight of everybody who's already seated here and trying to make their way to their seats. Devontae, you have covered Carifta Games before. And ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The honorees are coming into, of course, you heard Devontae allude to them before. The honorees are, there she is, Anthony Strawn, Stephen Gardner, Shawnee Miller-Weibo. Those are our honorees, guys, for the 50th Carifta Games.
Former Carifta athletes, world champions, Olympic champions. These are the best, some of the best athletes we have in the world.
Yes.
Not only in the Bahamas,
Isn't it
not
so
only
wonderful
in the
to
region.
say that?
Yes.
Not just in the Bahamas, but in the world. They have, and it's so deserving of you. You read some of their bios and what their resumes and what they have been doing, and you see why they're deserving.
Yes.
You see why they're deserving of being the honorees for these games come next April, because they have put in the work. They've made this nation proud. They've made the region proud, and so they're quite deserving of this honor.
Most definitely, most definitely. Even when we talk about Anthony Strawn, during her time as a junior, went on to become world junior champion, world youth champion. People were just certainly amazed by her. Last year she came off of one of the best seasons she's had in decades, just pulling up, making it into the final of the 200. She says that the 200 is her baby, so I'm really excited to see what she can do. I'm sure she's ready in training for next season. Stephen Gardner also not having quite the season he wanted to have last season, obviously with an injury, but still, one of the best, and people are waiting to see what he'll bring back to the track next year. And of course, Shawnee Miller-Weibo, world indoor champion last year, world outdoor, finally getting that world outdoor title, and then coming back home and to get that NACAC title. It was a beautiful experience. I was there. Luckily, I was there to experience it. So these athletes are simply phenomenal and truly deserving of what they're receiving tonight. And it's small to what they should receive.
Yes. Yeah, it certainly pales in comparison to what else they can get and what other honor they can certainly receive. If you are just joining us, we are live from the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center. The official launch of the 50th Carifta Games have taken place this morning, but this evening there is even bigger celebrations on top. You hear right now behind us, the band that's playing is the Urban Renewal Band. Before that, we had the Bahamas Brass Band, and this is just a part of the celebrations here this evening. The official ceremonies are set to begin at 6 o'clock. It'll go for about 2 hours or so. A number of speakers are scheduled to take to the stage. It's going to be, again, just as wonderful and impressive as it was this morning. That is what's planned for this evening as well. It's major, you all. Imagine 50 years that the Carifta is celebrating. Of course, it totally coincides with the 50th anniversary of independence for the Bahamas, and so the Bahamas is taking, making sure that this is memorable and it's amazing, it's huge and it's super. Devontae, you have covered Carifta games before. You were in Jamaica, I think it was last year or the year before, for Carifta games there. Talk about the rivalry that you see among athletes from the various countries.
You know, Shanique, the rivalry and the bond is getting a bit intense, but that's exactly what it's like in the Carifta Stadium. Picture this with some Junkanu music, and that fuels the athletes on the track. Obviously, there's a big Jamaican contingent that travels every time. They travel with the athletes everywhere. And if you go to any international track and field meet, you will know the sound of those Jamaican horns. I don't know which brand or where they get it from, but that is all you hear buzzing in your ear the entire day. And you have the Bahamians always in a strong contingent that travels everywhere with these athletes to support them.
Yeah, Junkanu is becoming quite known and expected.
Of course, Junkanu is there in the stands every Carifta Games. At the end of every meet, there's a Junkanu rush out. These athletes, they've grown to love it. And of course, here in the Bahamas, the home of Junkanu, I'm sure that those Junkanus will be there out in full force every single day, every minute of the day, to ensure that the athletes get that push, especially those in the distance athletes. You know, we've heard from some of the distance athletes from some of the Spanish-speaking countries, some of the Dutch-speaking countries, and they've said that, you know, I love to hear that Junkanu. It gives me fuel going on that back stretch. When I'm running my 5,000 meters or running my 12 laps, or even around the 4x4s, which closes out the event. The 4x4 is usually 3 minutes long, and so those athletes are getting pumped by the drums. And we've heard that from not only regional athletes, but even when we had the World Relays back a few years ago, those athletes said the exact same thing. Hearing that drum beat is just something that keeps them going and wants them to do more and wants them to push. And that's us. I think that's going to be our secret weapon heading into this game.
Our signature secret weapon that, absolutely, to just push us over and maybe we get most medals,
Yep.
You know what, I'll tell you this too, the Bahamas has set a number precedents in these games, even the world relays, and it's introducing the athletes coming out of that tent and all that. The Bahamas kind of introduced that, and it's now adopted elsewhere, as you can see.
That as well as the mixed relays. You know, it was done before, but the Bahamas really it was actually awakened here during the World Relays, and now we're seeing that done at the World Outdoor Championships, at the Olympic levels. And I think that just goes to show that, you know, and we actually even heard that there's preliminary conversations about the mixed relay happening at the Carifta Games. You know, so we're now seeing that the things that the Bahamas would have thought about, some things, and there you have it, some pictures of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force brass band, concert band that is. It's a fun evening. The atmosphere is just simply beautiful.
It is so beautiful, and look at the backdrop with the Royal Bahamas Defense Force band against the nice rich green of the grass. Really, really awesome. And something that is going to be a highlight this evening is the official launch and relaunching of the Legends Walk. Again, you heard Devontae describe that it is athletes in the Bahamas, whether they from sailing, because I saw Sir Derwin Knowles, I saw Mark Knowles, a number of athletes in various disciplines who have done incredible things and made incredible impressions on the world stage. They are all highlighted there. They're all featured, just so that Bahamians and anybody else, whoever comes and visits this complex, can go and walk through there and obviously see what the Bahamas has to offer.
And honestly, it's so beautiful sitting from where I'm at right now, just seeing it in the background, seeing the likes of Frank Broadfoot, the first track and field medal back in the Olympics. And we're seeing it on the backdrop of these Christmas lights, with the lights beaming down from the stadium. It's honestly beautiful. Seeing Thomas A. Robinson there at the beginning of it, his track is named after him. Now tonight we're inducting 3 more legends onto that. And I'm sure those athletes there, they're beaming with pride tonight to know that that is something that they're going to be inducted in.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, and countries from the region do it as well. Certainly, of course, pay tribute to their athletes. Shelly Ann Fraser Price continues to be very much highlighted by Jamaica and other athletes as well. But just to say how wonderful it is when an athlete can be appreciated, acknowledged, and obviously given this kind of attention here in from their country, and this is what's happening obviously here for these 50th games. We are going to get some interviews in for you. Of course, I'm joined all evening with my colleagues, my sportscasters, Devontae Hanna and Marcella Saul, who will come in a little bit. But we also have a number of sponsors, a number of persons who have stepped up and decided that they are going to help make these junior athletes' dreams come true, and also that they're going to obviously do what they can and do their part in making the 50th Carifta Games a success. Good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's wonderful seeing you. First of all, congratulations for stepping up and obviously lending your voice, your support, and your tangible assets to these 50th Games.
This is something that we strive in doing at FIE. We're a small, fully Bahamian-owned company, and every opportunity we get, especially in giving back to the youths, we try to make an effort to do so.
Yeah. How important is it and significant is it? You mentioned the fact that you want to continue giving back to the youth, and every chance you get, you make an effort to do that. But to pour into young people, especially at a time when so many fingers are pointed at them for the wrong reasons, but now they're being recognized and supported for all the right reasons.
Well, I have 2 daughters, and I have strived to set an example for them. And they're so much involved with the company. And whenever there is any aspect of young people involvement, they push me more so than I push them. So, it's very important. I have 2 role model kids, and whatever we could do to, help the society to, further enhance, the ability for kids, because they have some abilities that is on tap.
They do, they do. And then to obviously reach out into areas that maybe they may not step up readily, but to be able to reach out to those areas and bring those young people in and steer them in the right direction. That's also important, especially now.
Well, I'm from the Fowler Street area, East Street, Market Street area, and I see and know the talents that exist, the Baintown area. So for me, it wasn't no strain to say, well, support the young people. I see them every day. I sit under the dilly tree and I watch them, I listen to their conversations, and believe me, we have 99% positive. It's just a 1% that's being, but we support them in every which way we can.
What do you want other corporate sponsors, other corporate entities to get from what is it that you stepped up to do for Carifta 50?
Well, the 50 is very important to me. It is. I'm over that bump. So, to be able to, at this time, this is a step into history. And for us at FIE to be a part of it, it's very significant. I hope that other sponsors, I have encouraged our fellow friends in business, aim in business, come on board, and we do have some of them. And it is a wonderful experience, and we'll continue to push and, be part of these events.
Yes, I thank you very much. FIE, of course, is a local business here. We have viewers watching from all around the region, so I want them to know certainly. And of course, if you can introduce yourself officially to us, let's hear your name.
Well, my name is Brenton Roll, better known as Boo Roll, founder, proprietor of Fixed Enterprises Limited since 1991. We have done so many things in the community. We have worked for big businesses, small businesses, and we continue to strive from the community, and we look at ourselves as a part of what the society has to offer. And with the success of our business, we came from the ground, we came from the grassroots, so we give back.
Yeah, and you're obviously doing that and being a great corporate citizen and a wonderful example as well on what it means to be responsible and help build a nation, or continue building a nation.
Well, we'll try.
Yeah.
We'll try.
I thank you very much. FIE, thank you very much. Located here in Nassau, Bahamas. Absolutely. We're going to continue speaking with a number of sponsors. And it's so amazing. You heard earlier, if you were watching the broadcast then, that a number of sponsors have stepped up and are making their presence felt and obviously putting a lot of resources behind and into these games. One of the sponsors, who is the title sponsor for Carifta 50, is Oak Tree Medical Center and Dr. Don DeVoe and his team. Dr. Don DeVoe does not mince words here in the Bahamas. When it comes to young people, when it comes to supporting young people's events, he is all in. I want to say good evening to you and congratulations on all that you're doing and continue to do to make events like this possible.
Thank you, and good night, Bahamas.
Absolutely, and you know, you look very smart, dressed in Bahamian colors, right? You look
All Bahamian, all day.
I know, right? Look very, very awesome. Tell us about Oak Tree Medical Center and your effort always, not just now. Now, of course, you really stepped up in a huge way, but not just now, to always want to give back and support what it is that the youth of the nation do.
For me, like I stated earlier, for Oak Tree, we're more than a medical center, we're a community center. And for me, giving back is just, like I say, natural. To whom much is given, much is expected. And I think for me, for an event like this is just a catalyst for us to move forward as a country at large. The more we give back into the youth, the more they're going to give back to us. It's simple math.
What do you want the young people, the young athletes, who are many of whom are here in the stands, those who are watching around the region and who will be here next April, what do you want them to get and understand? Many of them feel as though they're misunderstood or there is no support. But when people like you step up, what message do you want them to get?
For us, the biggest thing is for the athletes is just understanding your potential. Because if you know who you are, in Christ, anything is possible. And that's the message we want to continue to deliver. And failures may come, but you get back up. Try again. That's my message.
Now, how excited are you about Team Bahamas?
It's an understatement. I'm so ecstatic. I'm actually just being here in this environment with the legends to be honored tonight. It's a feeling you really can't describe, and I'm bursting with Bahamian pride. And for me, like I say, these were once young youths with raw talent. Now they are here to this stage, and the global stage, and it makes me proud to be a Bahamian.
Absolutely. Have you walked through Legends Walk, by the way?
I surely did, and to me, walking through it was like walking through history, giving the shout-outs to our forefathers who essentially we stood on their backs and they brought us here to this day. And it's like passing the baton from the past, present, and future.
Really, really amazing. Obviously, you're going to bring remarks this evening at the continuing opening and launch of Carifta 50. Certainly, of course, congratulations to you and thank you for stepping up in the way you've done to become the title sponsor of these games, because you firmly, and you've said it over and repeatedly, how much you believe in the young people of this country, by extension the region, and obviously you put your resources behind that expression to show them that you believe in them and you want the best for them.
As I stated before, the future is now, and if we don't invest in the future, what are we going to invest in? Thank you.
I thank you very much, Dr. Don DeVoe. Dr. Don DeVoe, of course, is from Oak Tree Medical Center. He and Oak Tree Medical Center are the title sponsors for Carifta 50. And listen, they when they came on board, I tell you, the Carifta and the LOC were hugely excited and very, very happy to welcome them, because what they did really made a huge difference. I am joined by other colleagues. I told you all at the beginning of the show that Marcellus Hall, of course you saw Devontae Hanna a minute ago, but Marcellus Hall is here. Marcellus has covered, I think, as many as Terry. We had Terry on from St. Lucia earlier. Yes. Marcellus has covered that many, that Carifta games and every other game you can think about. Marcellus, it's great seeing you this evening.
Good seeing you as well.
And listen, let's just take us in about the significance of Carifta games and obviously the fact that the Bahamas is hosting it at this 50th juncture.
Well, as you know, the Carifta games are the premier track and field event for this region for youth, right? And so it's an opportunity to showcase. We've seen some of the best athletes in the world. They have all come through this system. They have all gotten their start right here on those grassroots. all those that end up being something like a Shawnee Miller, for instance, for instance, guys like Chris Brown. All those guys got their starts at this Carifta level. We've seen them all be able to flourish. We've seen them all get their starts. And so having it held here in the Bahamas now, once again, for our 50th anniversary, oh my God, it's so amazing. I'm excited about it. I know the athletes certainly are. And so I just can't wait for it to happen.
Yeah, it really is awesome, Marcellus. You mentioned the honorees a minute ago. They, of course, have already entered this area and are seated in the front area. But let's talk about them, about each of them, and not only the season that they're having, but what they've gone on to do, not just for the Bahamas, but for the region.
Yes. And you know, when we talk about right now, we have the two premier quarter milers in the entire world. We're not just talking about this region, we're talking about the entire world. The world champion and Olympic champion, that says a lot. And that's in the likes of Shawnee Miller-Weebo and, of course, Stephen Gardner, who didn't have a chance to defend his world championship this year due to an injury, but can't discount what he's done throughout the course of his career, and certainly in this last year. What they've done is nothing short of amazing. When you talk about coming from this little small island, this little archipelago, just a few 100,000 people, getting out there and facing off against countries that have millions of individuals and getting able to get it done, not only just to compete and be on the world stage, but to actually win. That is something that I just can't get enough of, being able to witness it firsthand, and that is something as well that I think I wish everybody could experience. But as it is, we as Bahamians, we love it, we embrace it, and we look forward for more.
Absolutely. Marcellus, now, is there a junior athlete headed into Carifta 50, which is, of course, next April? Is there a junior athlete that you've been watching and you're excited to see what they do next year?
Oh, wow. I hate to call names because, you know, why didn't you say my name?
I know, right?
But I'll say this. Obviously, you know, last year was a COVID year, and so we didn't have the year before that, I say it was COVID year, and last year was a little bit kind of getting your feet back again. But I think there are a number of athletes on the ladies and on the girls and the boys side that are going to be, I think, ones that we're going to see some amazing performances, in particular on the men's side. We got some good male sprinters that are coming up right now that we're going to see being able to compete and showcase their abilities. Don't be surprised. Right here on this home soil, we're going to see some opportunities for Bahamians to really let us see what we have to offer. And so watch out, watch out.
Marcellus, I'm excited because when I hear them talk about personal best and whatever other records that they do, I am always, you know, I'm not the sports person in detail like you guys are, but I certainly pay attention to those things. And speaking of athletes you're watching, who intrigues you in the region in terms of the junior athlete level and what they potentially will do here at Carifta?
I have seen really in the last year or so, I've seen more throwers, more field events. I know our staple has always been everybody likes to look at the track events and seeing the people on the track, and that's the excitement. You know, that's a part of it. But it's called track and field, right? We have some really good up-and-coming track field athletes right now that don't be surprised if you see them not only flourish at the Carifta level, but go beyond that. We've got a young man right now in the javelin, for instance, in the high jump, that they're all looking very, very strong. I think that when this Carifta Championship rolls around next April, that you know, not only on the track are we going to be able to see some great performances, because we always do well on the track events, but what goes understated a lot of times and overlooked, I should say, is the fact that our field athletes do very well on a continuous basis. So that's not going to change. In fact, it's going to, I think, do even better this time around.
Marcellus, speaking of field events, what Terry said earlier today was the pole vault is something that is creeping up very slowly but surely in the region among regional athletes.
Yeah.
And it's potentially something that we can see here at Carifta.
Yeah, you know what? Just a few years ago, it was just the Bahamas. We would have the only competitors in pole vault, and so we won. Those were staple medals. We'd just count those in. We win gold and silver. We'd have two athletes because you can only have two, and so we'd get gold and silver every time around. So other people took notice, and so now you see all those other countries starting to put pole vaulters in, and so now you're starting to see the competition ratchet up, and so we got to up our game as well. And so it's a tough event. I personally don't have. I had some friends growing up that like to practice pole vault in the backyard. You know, that's a crazy sport because you got to trust your body weight and everything else to a bendy pole.
I think I will watch like this.
Right,
you know?
right. It's a scary sport.
I mean,
you got to get 20 feet off the ground, 17, 18 feet off the ground, and hope you hit the bed at the end of it. So, yeah, it's a scary sport. it's one that, like you said, has really started to catch on. I've seen Jamaica put forward some good athletes last year at the Carifta Championships in Jamaica. And so I think other countries now as well are starting to put their athletes, they're starting to put the training in. And so don't be surprised to see this field be very, very deep this time around. I hope the Bahamians can get right back into the mix. We didn't do quite as well as we normally do this last time around. There's Shawnee Miller and Stevie Gardner, wow, and Anthony Strong, all of whom were Carifta standouts, by the way. Austin Seeley winner right there. So this is good stuff. I know these guys are reliving those moments when they first got started, when they first made their names known in the region, and so now the baton has been passed to these other athletes to get a chance.
And it's really amazing, right, to know and think of, like you say, they're sitting there and perhaps thinking, this is where it all started for me, and now I'm back here being honored. And it shows to the junior athletes who are here that it can happen to you too, and for you as well, and to continue working hard and going after your track and field goals.
Yes, absolutely. I can remember very distinctly Shawnee Miller Weibo and Anthony Strong, both coming out of SAC at the time, competing at the Olympics, at the Carifta Championships. It was in Barbados, I think it was, and they did so extremely well. And Stephen Gardner, of course, coming from Moores Island. Nobody saw him coming.
No.
They had a bunch of athletes coming from that island at the time, but he ends up being the top one. But just to show you then, we have so much untapped potential. And when these athletes get their chance, you know, the sky is the limit, as we've seen, right? Now, like I said, we have Olympians upon Olympians upon Olympians, and we continuously showcase our ability. We continue to win Olympic medals since 1992. I mean, there are countries that have millions of people have never won an Olympic medal. And we kind of take it for granted, right? Bahamians are like, nah, we didn't win one? What? If that ever happens, I think the country would come to a standstill. So far, it hasn't happened. I don't anticipate it happening, so let's keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, really awesome. You are watching live coverage of the continuing launch officially of the 50th Carifta Games. The Carifta Games are set for April 2023, but the launch happens, Marcellus, months in advance because there's so many things planned to lead up to the occasion. 50 years, you all, and of course it coincides with the Bahamas' 50th anniversary of independence, and so the Bahamian government, the sporting organizations, and all of them have decided that they're going to make this a huge deal. Marcellus, not only is the Bahamas getting ready for Carifta 2023, the 50th anniversary, the year following, 2024, is going to be the World Relays.
World Relays make their return, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So this is where it first started. Obviously, we hosted the first World Relays here. And then we had it for 2 consecutive years, and then we lost it for a year, and then it came back. And so now here it once again. We're going to be hosting the World Relays. I thought it was when we hosted it the first couple of times, I thought it was an incredible event. I thought it showcased the Bahamas and put us in the spotlight of something that was unheard of before. And so I think that this continues to grow. I'm glad the Bahamas has gotten it back.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see once again that stadium light up to showing all those athletes, all those different countries. And I look forward to seeing the Bahamas once again reassert themselves as a relay power. We've kind of fallen off a few years back now, but I think there's definitely some light at the end of the tunnel. I think we can put forward some good relay teams now, and we'll showcase our home and show that we are once again one of the premier teams in the world.
Absolutely, and I firmly believe that every Bahamian is wanting and waiting for our relay teams to really assert themselves again. Really awesome. You are watching the live coverage here from Queen Elizabeth Sports Center in Nassau, Bahamas, of the continuing launch of the 50th Carifta Games. We are getting started in just a few minutes. At 6 o'clock, there's an official ceremony planned, a number of speakers, a number of events. I am here with sportscaster, veteran sportscaster, in fact, Marcellus Hall. You saw earlier Devontae Hanna was here. He's also a sportscaster here in the Bahamas, and they both have covered, especially Marcellus, from the Carifta level all the way to the Olympic level.
Yes. My first Olympics in 2000. Yes, I've been doing Carifta since 1996. So go tell you, right?
So you know these. I know, right? You know these athletes very well.
Yes.
How wonderful is it for Pauline Davis to have this wonderful honor?
To the relaunch of the
honoring the greatest Bahamian athletes in their respective disciplines, icons of their time. Joining in celebration tonight is the Honorable Philip E. Davis, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Cabinet Ministers, Leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition, former Prime Minister, Parliamentary Secretaries,
Secretary to the Cabinet, Financial Secretary, Commissioner of Police, Commander of the Defense Force, Permanent Secretaries, former Ministers of Youth, Sports, and Culture, our title sponsor, sponsors, sporting federations, all sporting legends, youth ambassadors. Tonight, we honor 3 Carifta legends as they take their rightful place on the Legend Walk. Please, welcome to the stage, Olympic and world champion, Tonique Williams, and Nassau's very own, Tomiko Sawyer Boy Sawyer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the relaunch of the Legends Walk.
Yes, welcome everybody. This stellar sporting event is being hosted by Miss Tonique Williams and yours truly, Sawyer Boy. Because you know, when you think about sports, Sawyer Boy is the first name that comes to mind.
Okay, if you say so, Sawyer Boy.
I mean, after Buddy Hield, Michael Jordan, Usain Bolt, Tommy Robinson, Pauline Davis, and maybe Forrest Gump, I am one of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen. I mean, you ain't too bad yourself. I think you did some things we could talk about. Gold at the Olympics, gold at the World Championships, bronze at the World Indoor Championships, Golden League jackpot winner. Tony, they get a whole highway name after you. That ain't too shabby at all.
Thank you, Tomiko. Being an athlete is not an easy career. It's committing to a regimen of training, diet, focus of mind and spirit.
You're right, and I have to admit that I do admire athletes, the training they go through, the discipline they have, and then the things they are able to do on the track and on the field. It's unbelievable. They are real-life superheroes. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, give applause right now for all of our athletes. All right, let's keep that applause going, because tonight we have something that I believe has never happened before. All 6 Bohemian winners of the Carifta's Austin Seeley Award are all together in one place at one time. Give them a round of applause.
Please, let's show your love for the 1978 winner, Marianne Higgs. For the 1982 and 1983 winner, Laverne Eve.
Miss Pauline Davis for 1984. And Debbie Ferguson for 1995.
Tomiko, you would not believe who the final 2 are.
Actually, yes, I would. You forget we already rehearsed this. Anthony Strawn for 2011 and 2012. And of course, Shanae Miller-Weebo for 2013.
Tomiko, have you noticed that all the Austin Seeley Award winners are females?
I have.
Congratulations, ladies. We are so happy that you've joined us this evening.
And they...
Tonight, it's about placing the spotlight on some very special athletes. Tonight is about honoring our legends. Antonique Strawn is here. Let's hear it for Antonique. Tonight, we will honor Shanae Miller-Weebo. Keep your applause going for Shanae. And Stephen Gardner is here. Let's hear it for Stevie.
Because they are among the greatest of the greats, and we are taking this time to show them just how much we appreciate them. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man and the women of the hour, Stephen Gardner, Anthony Strawn, and Shanae Miller-Weebo.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem sung by Mr. Kenneth Knowles, member of the National Youth Choir, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band. The invocation is brought by Reverend Terrence Morrison, pastor of Zion Baptist Church.
Let us continue reverencing the presence of God. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. We serenade you, the sovereign, the crawler home of the earth. For your eyes saw our unformed substance, and in your book all our members were written. We thank you that you are the God. You grant gifts and graces to men and women. You cause men and women to rise to heights sublime, to maximize their full potential, yea, even to self-actualize. We thank you for the discipline of sports and for those who, having disciplined themselves, have excelled, causing the world to mark the manner of our bearing in these small isles of June. We thank you for all those who helped them on their journey to success. We also recognize, O God, that there is still more ground for us to cover, still more medals for us to win, still more for us to do on the international scene. Therefore, we pray that you would cause those who are now seniors in this sporting discipline to be intentional in the mentoring of those who are up and coming. We pray that unhealthy competition may not be named among them. I pray for those who are the younger athletes, that they would open themselves to being mentored, to being trained, and to being pushed. We cancel the plot plans and schemes of the enemy, for we know that the one who is anti our God and his Christ comes not but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But we as people of faith, even in this open air, even across these airwaves, decree and declare that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but that they are mighty through God to the pulling down of every stronghold and every high thing that exalts itself above the knowledge of God, bringing into captivity every evil thought unto the obedience of Christ. We stand against any with predacious or rapacious proclivities who will seek to ensnare those who are gifted and compromise them in their journey towards excellence. I pray that the right people will be in the right places at the right time. I pray that the sun will not smite our athletes by day nor the moon by night. For you promise to preserve our souls. You promise to preserve our going out and our coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. And even as our region prepares for the 50th anniversary of Carifta, we pray that you would bless the plans. For your word declares, except you build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except you guard the city, the watchman stands wake in vain. We release every plan to you, and we ask that those plans will prosper. For you said, whatever the righteous does will prosper. For the righteous is like a tree planted by rivers of water that bring forth their fruit in its season. Their leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever they do shall prosper. Whatever transpires for the remainder of this evening, we ask that it will redound to the honor and glory of your name. We exalt you once again as the God whose life gives meaning to our lives, the God who has given everyone the same opportunity and time, the God who superintends the affairs of mortals. Therefore, in the name of this God, revealed in Jesus of Nazareth, who taught his disciples to pray, so too we model and anchor our prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. We invoke Levitical blessings upon those who will be inducted, upon those who will participate in varying sporting activities. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up the light of God's countenance upon you, and may the triune blessing of the triune God revealed as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit rest, rule, and abide with you. Abide with those who organize this event. Abide with those who will participate. Abide with those whom we love. And abide most especially with those who make it difficult for us to love. Somebody say, help me, Lord. Our help indeed is in the name of the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Amen.
Please be seated. The prayer response is given by Randy Raman, Petra, and Patricia Smith.
I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times where we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
Pray we'll find your light
I pray we'll find your light
and hold it in our heart.
and hold it in our heart.
When stars go out each night,
When stars go out each night,
remind us where you are.
remind us where you are.
Let this be our prayer.
Let this be our prayer.
When shadows fill our day,
When shadows fill our day,
lead us to a place,
guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe. A world where pain and sorrow will be ended, and every heart that's broken will be mended, and we'll remember we are all God's children, reaching out to touch you, reaching to the sky. We ask that life be kind. We ask that life be kind. And watch us from above.
we now invite Mrs. Janine McCartney, project manager of the local organizing committee, to bring welcome remarks. She will be followed by Mr. Dramico Archer, president of the Bahamas Association of Athletic Associations.
Good evening. Protocol has already been observed. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome all of you to this auspicious occasion, especially as we are live streaming to our Caribbean and international counterparts. Fortunately, this relaunch of the Sports Legend Walk is extremely significant, as sports legend icons from all disciplines will adorn the walk. There are 66 legends on the walk, and they will be joined by 3 new honorees from the world of athletics, namely Shawnee Miller-Weeper, Anthony Strawn, and Stephen Gardner. These new additions are certainly worthy of joining the others. We are also pleased to have the president of the Bahamas Athletic Association, Mr. Dramico Archer, chairman of our 2023 Carifta Games, Mr. Harrison Thompson, our chief operating officer of the local organizing committee for the 2022 Carifta Games, Mr. Lyndon Maycock, the Oak Tree Medical Facility, title sponsor for hosting the Carifta Games, in the person of Dr. Don DeVoe, Chief Executive Officer, and other partners of hosting Carifta Games 2023. It is our understanding that in the 50 years of hosting these games, a medical facility has never been a title sponsor. So we thankfully have a first for the Bahamas. To provide some context regarding the relaunch of the Sports Legend Walk, which was established in 2014, and as a result of the damage caused by Hurricane Dorian in 2019, many of the photos were damaged or destroyed. Following that devastation, the world was struck by COVID-19, and we were shut down for a few years. The country is now able to resume some sense of normalcy, and one of the first initiatives of the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture is this worthwhile project. We have planned an enjoyable evening under the beautiful skies of our Bahamas, and we welcome you warmly. Please relax and enjoy this evening's presentations.
Good evening, Shawnee, Stephen, Anthony, Marianne, Pauline, Laverne, and Debbie. God has blessed this country by giving you to the B3As and sharing you to the world. Give a round of applause to our Austin Seeley Award winners. People, are you ready? Y'all tell your age right just now. How do you compare great ones of yesteryear to the great ones of today? Imagine a Herb McKinley lined up against a Usain Bolt, or a Mike Sands against Stephen Gardner. Let's even imagine a mixed relay of Carifta legends in a relay that looks like this. Running in lane number 1, representing Trinidad and Tobago, Michelle Lee Ahi, Hazley Crawford, Kellyanne Baptiste, and Otto Bolden. Running out of lane number 2, representing Barbados, Marita Payne, Ryan Brathwaite, Akila Jones, and Obadele Thompson. Running out of lane number 3, representing Grenada, Braylon Taplin, Amanda Crawford, Janelle Redhead, and Karani James. In lane number 4, running from the Turks and Caicos Island, Colby Jennings, Akia Gourier, Yannick Hay Smith, and Delano Williams. And all the way back a yard representing roots, rock, and reggae from Jamaica. 1976 Olympic gold and silver medalist in the 200 and 100 meters respectively, Don O'Reilly Quarry. And 3 times gold medalist in the 100 meters in 2018 and 2012 and 2016, as well as gold medalist in the 200 meters. It's a bird, it's a plane, or none other than Usain St. Leo Bolt. The only other athlete to have won medals at 5 different Olympic Games. Olympic medalist in the 200 meters and 400 meters in 2004, 2008, and 2008 Olympics. Veronica Campbell Brown, AKA VCB. 8-time Olympic medalist, 2-time 100-meter gold medalist, and the only woman in history to medal in the 100 meters in 4 consecutive Olympic Games, Shelley Ann Fraser-Price. And running out of lane number 6, 2-time Austin City Award winner, Kareem Street Thompson from the Cayman Islands. Also Austin City Award winner is Sidoni Mothersill from Cayman, Glenn Kunst from Curacao, and Janelle Williams from Antigua. In lane number 7, representing the breathtaking islands of the Bahamas, Eleuthera Bourne, bronze medalist in the 2000 Sydney Olympics, 4x400 meter silver medalist in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, 4x400 meter gold medalist in the 2012 Olympic Games, bronze medalist in the 2016 Olympics, and 2001 4x4 world champion, 2010 400 meters gold medalist, none other than Chris Fireman Brown. In 2016, 400-meter gold medalist at the Rio Olympics, 2020 400 gold medalist at the Tokyo Olympics, 2022 400 meters world indoor champion, 2022 400 meters world outdoor champion, 2017 mixed relays 4x400 meters gold medalist, 2000. The Prime Minister is about to arrive. I think we should pause for his arrival.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip E. Davis.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Cat Island, national record holder in the shot put, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis. Shauna, he interrupted you. The 2010 World Champion, 2011 World Youth Champion, the 2013 Austin Seeley Award winner, and so many more. Shawnee Miluibo. The 2011 Pan Am Junior 200-meter champion, double Austin Seeley Award winner in 2011 and in 2012 in both the 100 meters and 200 meters, the 2017 4x4 mixed relay world relays champion, none other than Anthony Strawn. He was on the 2017 gold medal winning World Relay Squad. He's the 2019 World Champion. He is the 2020 Olympic Champion, Speedy Stephen Gardner. And ladies and gentlemen, running out of lane number 8, representing the Bahamas Legends, the 1976 and 1972 and 1976 Olympian, bronze medalist at the 1975 Mexico Pan Am Games and CAC Games gold medalist, Mike Sands. She's also known as the mother of track and field. 1978 Austin Seeley Award winner, winning the 100 meters and 200 meters, Mary Ann Higgs Clark. Government High School sprint sensation, Michael Boy Blue Newbold. And last but not least, 1984 Austin Seeley Award winner, 100 meters and 200 meters, 1986 CAC champion, 4x100 meters, gold medalist at the 1999 World Championships in Seville, 200-meter champion in the 2000 Sydney Olympics, and a golden girl in the 4x100 meters at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Pauline Davis-Thompson. And we all remember the iconic Hands in the Air by Debbie Ferguson. Although you're not on this relay team, we'll always remember you. And so, without further ado, we call on the starter to start the race. Mrs. Starter, go! Where's Philippa?
Here's where things gonna get very interesting. Now we have a woman running against man in this final leg of the relay. We'll see what the men can do as one of the teams are receiving their batons. Handing off the baton for the Bahamas Team A, Austin Seeley. Carifta Austin Seeley winner, Anthony Strawn. In a close second is one of Jamaica's top sprinters, an Olympic 200-meter champion, Don Quarry. Taking the baton in third, it's Trinidad and Tobago Olympic champion Hazley Crawford. And the world leader and Bahamas speedster in the 400-meter, none other than our own Stephen Gardner, runs off with the baton from the back of the field. This is going to be an exciting final leg of this relay as they head down the backstretch. Jamaica's great Don Quarry has got Pauline Davis-Thompson in his side. She will be able to hold on. One of Jamaica's top sprinters moving in very strategically is Trinidad's. And here comes the Bahamas Olympic champion, Stephen Gardner. The crowd has gone wild and chanting loudly. Oh, wow, look at the movement as they approach the top of the curve, heading to the final 100-meter finish of this exciting relay. Pauline Davis-Thompson still fighting to hold on to the lead for the Bahamas. On the home straight, Stephen Gardner has now moved into second position in those beautiful colors, aquamarine, gold and black, running as smooth as a gazelle from behind. To the track down our homegirl, Pauline Davis-Thompson. Trinidad Moving now, dropping into fourth with Jamaica's Corey, trying his best to move with Stephen Gardner while he sits on the shoulder of the Golden Girl. No doubt it's a great strategy to put the 44.21 Stephen Gardner on this anchor leg for the Bahamas. 50 meters still left to go, and Stephen Gardner now moves over the lead with the Golden Girl, fighting hard to maintain her second position to the finish. Jamaica's Quarry has closed on Davis Thompson, but Stephen Gardner has timed his finish to the perfection, and the Bahamas takes the gold. The crowd has waited all day for this win, and now they don't only take the gold, but we will get to hear the Bahamian national anthem. What a feeling to see the Bahamas win the gold with all the guts and glory. The Bahamas takes the gold and silver. Jamaica will return home with the bronze, and Trinidad just misses out on the podium. Again, Bahamas takes gold, and now back to the B3A's president, Mr. Dramico Archer.
Who are
Congratulations.
we? Who are we? And so from yesteryear to the present, this is the excitement of the Carifta Games. It is this kind of excitement that you will witness come April 8th to the 10th, 2023. As a country, we will march on. As a Carifta movement, we will march on. And Bahamians from all walks of life will welcome the region and the world to the 50th years of independence of the Bahamas, 50 years of CARICOM, and 50 years of Carifta. May the games begin.
I'll give Mr. Dramico Archer a round of applause. That sounded like a real race just now. I thought I get goosebumps. Pauline Davis is out of seat just now again. But look here, funding is very important for an event like this, and there are always budgetary constraints. To help the organizing committee out, I offered to do a musical number tonight for a very modest fee, but the chairman of the organizing committee insisted that the budget could not accommodate me. He said there was not enough money in the world to let me sing. Mr. Chairman, I know when I heard. So instead of my musical talents, this evening, you will enjoy the sounds of the world-famous Bahama Brass Band of the Church of God of Prophecy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Bahama Brass Band.
competition as you have done.
Well, we are very happy to participate. We are so proud to have our superstars arrive in the electric cars and to drive in the electric cars for the next couple of days. You know, they're fit for royalty. We did have a certain Prince William and Princess
yes,
Kate
absolutely.
in them once upon a time, but you don't have to be royalty to drive electric. And it's a nice ride, and we invite everybody to try to test drive our cars and drive electric.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk more about your cars in a minute, but let's just talk about what pushed and motivated Easy Car Sales to want to be a sponsor and hold hands with the local organizing committee here for the Carifta Games and just everybody involved.
Well, you know, we all love to watch it on TV, and we're always cheering for our superstars. So, you know, when they called, we were here because we enjoy supporting them and we enjoy their journey, and we want to encourage this journey towards Carifta 2023. It's going to be very exciting.
Oh, it's going to be super. We can feel it and see it already. Now let's just talk about making these games as green as possible in terms of just what you drive. Easy Car Sales is the premier car company here in the country that promotes all green vehicles.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about them getting that message out.
So we are the only company that just sells electric cars. We don't sell gas cars. All right, we haven't been to the gas station in 7 years. We don't.
Let's hear it again for the Bahama Brass Band. Now, to introduce the representative of Oak Tree Medical Center, title sponsor of Carifta Games 2023, is Mr. Lyndon Maycock, Chief Executive Officer of the Local Organizing Committee.
Good evening, everybody. The Bahamas, the place where God lives, has been coined by the late Miles Monroe. True to his words, we welcome you to this place, the National Sports Authority, where we coin the place where sports lives. And so we welcome all of you here tonight, and we welcome our title sponsor, Oak Tree Medical Center. It was 5 a.m. in the morning, 3.5 weeks ago, that my team and I met Dr. Dawn DeVoe at Oak Tree Medical Center. And it was so powerful at that meeting. Actually, that was the first time I met Dr. DeVoe. And my office is less than 100 yards from Dr. DeVoe's office. I've been retired now for 4 years. And the first time I met Dr. DeVoe was 3.5 weeks ago. And in that meeting, Dr. DeVoe pledged $300,000 in donation for the Carifta Games 2023. And the local organizing committee has embarked on a $3 million plus sponsorship level from our corporate Bahamas. And every dollar will be accounted for. For the first time in the Carifta Games, financial statements will be presented on the website of the local organizing committee. So everybody in the Bahamas, everybody in the world, in the region, will have access to those financial statements. And so we encourage corporate Bahamas. We are very transparent, and it's your dollar, and every dollar will be accounted for. And we thank Oak Tree Medical Center for coming aboard. And since that day, our marketing efforts have been so seamless. We find persons just calling to make donations to the Carifta movement. And we say thank you. Thank you, Corporate Bahamas, for stepping up. And we will obtain that $3 million plus for the operations. We thank the government of the Bahamas for its capital works in terms of improving the facilities here at the National Sports Authority. And so we look forward to the biggest and best Carifta Games ever in the history of the games, the 50th anniversary. And please stand with me as I welcome Oak Tree Medical Center Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Dawn DeVoe. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I stand on the protocol that has already been acknowledged, and I wish to extend greetings on behalf of my wife, CEO of Oak Tree Medical Center, Christy DeVoe. And I thank everyone here today for your presence for such an honorable and pivotal moment. The country is only weeks away from a new year, and what an exciting year of celebrations it will be. As we commemorate our 50th Golden Jubilee of Independence of the Bahamas and the 50th anniversary of the Carifta Games. The Bahamas is a nation brimming with beauty throughout our archipelago, stretching across 100,000 miles. Our natural wonders cause millions of tourists flock to see and enjoy. Our 700 islands and keys, teeming with rich sea life, surrounded by turquoise waters, have astronauts in awe. On land, we can boast of our natural wonders, breathtaking beaches, and some of the deepest blue holes in the world. But we cannot stop there. Let's talk about the people. We are a people of power, strength, and dignity. We are a people of passion, creativity, and talent. We are gifted in so many spheres of society: the arts, sciences, education, medicine, law, and of course, sports. We break records. We break barriers and shatter the glass ceiling. As we lift our head to the rising sun, it is with this understanding and true Bahamian pride exemplified that makes this evening very special. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27 says, "Do not withhold goods from those whom it is due when you have the power to act." And so we are here as a country to honor our living legends, our barrier breakers, our nation's heroes who have pushed themselves to the absolute limit on the tracks and beyond, sacrificing their time and energy to make this little gem in the Atlantic brighter, bigger, and center stage on tracks around the world. We honor and celebrate our top Bahamian athletes, our national treasures, those who are being recognized by the government of the Bahamas previously, those who are honored today, and admonish the little ones who are watching. In here in the stands, I have my 4 beautiful children, Kaylee, Kalia, Kaya, and Daniel, and all those who are also watching on TV. It is with a dream in their heart that one day they can walk on the Legends Walk. To our honorees, Shanae Miller-Weibo, Stephen Gardner, and Anthony Strawn, you are our national treasures, who were once energetic little youths with raw talent and just needing someone to help and harness their natural gifts. This is the beauty of youth development through sports, track and field in particular, and the transformative power it has if one is willing to be stretched, coached, and mentored. We honor each of you tonight for who you are, your stories of triumph, overcoming failures, silencing the naysayers, and beating the odds. Through the injuries, setbacks, you did not stop because of the determination to still cross the finish line. Because each of you, little boys and girls, have role models they can aspire to be like. Because of you, there's a vision of hope, and the Bahamas, the little country that could, keep breaking records on the global stage. This is why my wife and I invest in sports and youth development, because of the path a child can be positively and permanently shifted, and nation building can become a reality. So continue to lift up your head to the rising sun as we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and say, Shanae, Stephen, and Anthony, well done. Thank you for a job well done. To the local organizing committee for the upcoming 50th Carifta, the B3As, NACAC, and the government of the Bahamas, I say thank you for the opportunity for Oak Tree Medical Center to be a part of this celebration and for the effort put forward to see this come into fruition. Together, we are limitless. 2023 will be a tremendous year for the country and for track and field. Continue to bless all of our athletes and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The future is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Don DeVoe, for those eloquent remarks. Y'all give him a round of applause. And of course, the local organizing committee is grateful for your generous support of the 2023 Carifta Games. I just want to mention here, just real subtle, as a struggling artist, I am always open to having a title sponsor as well. So let's talk. Hawkins Hill, I up to the top of the hill, you to the bottom of the hill. You know we know each other. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is yet another world-famous band to come, which means they rejected my musical number again. Now you see why I need a title sponsor. It is hard being an artist. But I am sure you will enjoy the songs of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band. And just before they play, we'll have a recorded message from Mr. Mike Sands, President of the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletics Association.
Hearing the junkie music and seeing us approaching the Yuletide season makes me grateful for the gift the Carifta Games has given sports and the young athletes of our area. Since its inception in 1972, the Carifta Games has enabled promising athletes to test their mettle against one another while honing themselves in preparation for international level of competition. The Carifta Games are a source of encouragement and crucible that enables many of our young athletes to create their own road to success through discipline, dedication, hard work, and determination. Qualities they will need beyond the field of play that will serve them well even in their daily lives. These games represent 50 years of perseverance, not just for any one country, but for us as the region and association of connected countries. Although it's hard not to cheer for your favorite team and native country, I encourage each of you to cheer for every participant and coach that will have the opportunity to share in the spirit of these games. As the NACAC area president, it is my esteemed pleasure to officially welcome you to the official launch of these games. where we will be celebrating 50 years of passion, focus, and hope that sports bring to the hearts and lives of so many. The 50th Games aligns with the upcoming 50th Golden Jubilee of the Bahamas' independence and 50th anniversary of CARICOM. It's a time of celebration and renewal as we honor our professional athletes and Olympic champions in the form of Shanae Miller-Rubo, Stephen Gardner, and Anthony Strawn. We are grateful for the path that they and many others before them have made for future athletes and participants of the Games to know that it is possible to work hard and be successful. For many athletes, athletics is a lifeline that enables them to create a future for themselves and family they may have not otherwise had access to due to social, economical, or other uncontrollable circumstances. So for these Games, we take pride in the opportunities they create now and for the future to come. It is once again my pleasure to welcome you to the official launch of the 50th edition of the Carifta Games Bahamas 2023 and the spirit of unity it represents for the region. It is again an opportunity where we can come together as a unified body, promote and uplift our future through our young athletes and our area. Thank you.
Please, another round of applause for the world-famous Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band. Now, please give your attention to Mr. Harrison Thompson, Chairman of the Carifta Games Bahamas 2023.
Honorable Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, our honorees, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to speak to you this evening as we continue the road to the Golden Jubilee of our Carifta Games being held here in the Bahamas next year. I'm sorry, boy wanted to sing tonight, but his price was too high, so we had to turn him down. Maybe next time he's asking for $2 million to sing, so we had to turn him down. But tonight we have a unique opportunity in the Bahamas as we add to our legend walk, and we have 3 young Bahamians. And the thing about these young Bahamians is that they are all still active in their sport. I believe this is the first time we have the induction on the legend walk where we have athletes who are still active in their sport. So we ought to give them a big round of applause. The local organizing committee thought it not robbery to honor these young Bahamians at this stage of their career. It's not the end. We hope that we will see you winning more gold medals for the Bahamas. We want to see our flag raised high whenever you participate in any event. So we want to encourage you as we install you on the walk tonight, on this legend walk. Legends are normally people who have completed their career. But we thought it not robbery to honor young, aspiring athletes who are still active in their sport. It is now my distinct pleasure to present to you a young man who was in banking for 25 years. He served, now he presently serves as the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. His passion is sports, administration, and he loves culture, and he has a passion for the young people of this country. Please welcome the Honorable Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, as he comes now to address us.
Good night all, good night all. It's definitely indeed a good day to be the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Because I can be the only one said that I put Shawnee them on the Walk of Fame. So you can't come behind me and do that. Anthony and Stevie, it's a pleasure to do that. Honorable Prime Minister, Cabinet and parliamentary colleagues, honorees, legends past and future, good evening. When the atmosphere of greatness is in the air and the spirit of excellence is present, one can only stop and say, wow. As Minister of Sports, I want you to believe there is no better place to be than in the presence of champions. Alphys Hawk Finlayson has doubted the Bahamas as the greatest small sports nation in the world. Hawk is right. I am honored to be the minister in the greatest sports epiphany in the history of the Bahamas. I have the opportunity to watch Jazz play baseball, Buddy Hield shoot three-pointers, Yolette McPhee coach, Laquan Nan jump, Joanne Eve swim, Devon Chattel hurdle, while Stephen and Shawnee and Anthony run. Mr. Prime Minister and colleagues, legends and friends, I'm here to tell you the brand of sports in paradise is alive and well. Tonight, as Shawnee, Stevie, and Anthony, and many others are on the way, there are so many great athletes in our country. there might be no end to this walk of legends. These athletes that we are honoring today were great Carifta champions. Tonight, as we pay honor to them, we also launch our hosting of the 50th Annual Carifta Games of 2023, which is titled and partnered by Oak Tree Medical Center. We thank you, Mr. DeVoe. But tonight, we just want to say thank you to the 3 honorees who have made their mark both locally and globally and continue to do our country proud in athletic excellence. With that said, I would like to introduce to you a former athlete in his own right, a baseball catcher back in the day, and the greatest sports fan in the country of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, Member of Parliament for Cat Island, Ronquillo, and San Salvador, and Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Please stand and welcome our Prime Minister.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. I played many positions. Catching was because nobody else wanted to catch. But ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be here tonight with you. To my parliamentary colleagues present, honorees, the legends both present and to be, and ladies and gentlemen, here in the Bahamas, we are in the business of producing legends. I remember clearly how on September 30th, 2000, the whole country gathered to watch with bated breath as our girls barreled down that Olympic Stadium track. Gold. They brought home gold. I do not know if I've ever seen such an overwhelming sense of collective pride since that moment. Talk about legendary. Before there were the Golden Girls or Golden Knights, Michael Sweetbells Thompson, became the first non-American to ever be drafted as the first pick by the Portland Trail Blazers in the National Basketball Association. Bells went on to win 2 NBA rings with the Showtime Los Angeles Lakers. Simply put, he is a legend. Do you need more proof? Elijah Obed Jr., Bahamian welterweight champion. Ed Ambrister, 2 World Series rings. Sir Dewitt Knowles and Cecil Cook, gold in sloop sailing, Olympic gold in sloop sailing. You know, I dare say, we just got it like that. Tonight I stand in a golden spot, a place where these stories are told and memories are engraved forever. I stand here as part of the making of Bahamian history. Here, macaroni is not a meal, but a basketball legend. Here, Richard Lionheart's weapon was not a sword, but a fastball. Tonight, I stand among the greatest to ever do it. We gather here tonight to celebrate the relaunch of the National Legends Walk. We have restored the walk, and tonight, we have the supreme honor of adding Olympians Shawnee Miller-Ubo, Stephen Gardner, and Anthony Strawn to the Great Bahamian Hall of Legends. You 3 represent the nation's pride. You are exemplars of what we should all work to be: dedicated, disciplined, striving, and unwavering in our pursuit of success. I want to thank you for carrying the mantle of greatness. You join the ranks of the few and worthy. I've watched the three of you do great things in your various disciplines and continue to pursue even greater goals. We stand with you. We believe in you. We honor you and will continue to support you. Shawnee, Anthony, Stevie, welcome to the Legends Walk. Congratulations to each of you, and may we all be guided by the stellar examples you have set. I'd just like to say, before I say good night and God bless, is Danny Johnson in the audience? Please join me. And with Mario Miller, Mario Bullock. Please join me. And they're joined by our three legends. Now, I call Danny Johnson up.
Yes,
He's
sir.
a former
I'm right here.
Minister of Youth and Sports.
Retired.
He's trying to duck out of something. But he, along with Minister Obi Wilscombe, when Obi Wilscombe is present, come Obi, when we launched tourist sports in paradise, it was Danny Johnson, Obi Wilscombe. And as the minister reminded us when he spoke earlier, sports in paradise is back. And I will not let the cat out of the bag. I'll just ask the minister and Danny to come and just make that wonderful announcement that I've been waiting for several months. Will you come?
Oh, you stay in the middle here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you all have heard already, but we want to officially make it known to the nation that it was 2012, I think, Danny, 2012? 2014, 15, and 17, but 2014, when Mr. Danny Johnson was the Minister of Youth, Sports, and Culture, along with Mr. Obi Wilscombe as the Minister of Tourism, and the B3A president of that time, was that you?
2012, no.
You know, went and made a presentation with Pauline Davis, Mike Sands, and we created the World Relays. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made our bid, and it's official. The World Relays is heading back to the Bahamas. And 2024, we'll be back with the World Relays where it belongs. By the way, that's a qualifying event for the Olympics. So on 2024, every nation that wants to run relay in the Olympic has to come to the Bahamas. So big things to come.
Call it. Playboy, call the music.
we want to present them with a little small portrait of themselves, which would be the same that when we hit the wall, the Walk of Fame, you will see the same photo up there. But this is the one she will take home for keeps. And that drawing is done by Ambassador Jamal Rowell, Ambassador of Culture. Actually did all the photos. Mr. Gardner.
Island Miracle.
Of course, final but not least, the most winningest 400-meter runner in the world, Shawnee Miller-Weebo.
Testing.
Good night, everyone. I am a woman of very few words. But I just want to first off say thank you to the I just want to say thank you to the local organization for just presenting this award to us tonight and allowing us to be a part of the Legends Walk of Fame. And we really do appreciate it. We are out here doing our very best to make sure that we make everyone proud. So we do want to say thank you all for all the support. We really do appreciate it, and it does really give us that energy to keep wanting to do more. I can speak for myself when I say that, you know, I've had someone to look up to, like Tonique, winning the world champs and the Olympic champs before me in the 400, and you know, she gave me that inspiration, and I think that it's so important for us to make sure that we're doing our job as well to inspire the youth that's coming up behind us. And I hope that when it's time for me to retire, that I can pass on the torch, and all of us can pass on the torches to the younger generation, and they can do more than what we've done. I cannot leave without saying thank you to God, because none of us would have made it this far in our careers without him. And yes, thank you to all of our family, all of our friends, everyone who come out to support us. We do love and we appreciate all of you.
Good night, everyone. It was kind of unexpected of us to give a speech, but you know, I just want to thank everybody for thinking about us and putting us out here on the Legends Walk of Fame. We've been working hard, and just want to say thank you again for everything, because not every day is a good day for us in training, and like everyone else, we're human at the end of the day, and you know, everyone's before us. Congratulations to the legends in the past, and today is our time to shine, and thank you, everybody, for keeping us in your prayers and everything. Thank you.
Hello, good night. Once again, thank you so much. I would also like to thank the mother of the games, and also Shawnee looked up to Tony, but Debbie and I went to CC's reading, and then we went on to private schools. So I had Debbie, and also Pauline. I love Pauline to death. That's my big sister. We talk daily. And I would also like to thank the local committee, also the government, and also our coaches, locally and internationally, for helping us to get this far. And hopefully you stick with us the way you have been sticking with us from junior to adult, so that we can make it further and also show the world what you have blessed all of us with. So thank you.
Thank you for those responses to our legends. We now welcome Miss Regina Ocean, member of the National Youth Choir, as she presents a special tribute to the legends.
Must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face, and you are content to let me shine that way. You always walk a step behind. I was the one with all the glory, while you are the one with all the straight. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be, and I can fly higher than an eagle. No, you are the wind beneath my wings. Might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know I would be nothing without you. No. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be, and I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be, and I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings. Fly, fly, fly away with me. Whoa, whoa, fly, fly, fly away with me. Whoa, whoa, fly, fly away with me. Whoa, whoa, you are the wind beneath my wings.
Thank you, Regina, for that beautiful rendition. Every athlete gives his or her best for their country. We all want to honor our nation. So right now, we take this time to pay tribute to the national banner of every Carifta nation. Our country flag showcase will be done immediately following an original song composed by Miss Amanda Forbes to mark this occasion. She is accompanied by the Black Swan Band.
No, you can leave it alone.
I gotta bring the stand this way. You wanna use the stand or not? Okay.
Woo! Good night, 242. I know y'all could do better than that. I said good night, 242. That's what I'm talking about.
Sawyer boy. Hey, Sawyer boy, where you at? Top of the morning to everyone. Good day to everyone. How's going on? Where's Mr. Sawyer boy with the mic? I need a mic. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay.
It's on now?
That's
Okay, so how am I sound right now? Good? Let's get it together, guys. Let's get it together. Carifta, 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 Carifta.
To the athletes, we would love to congratulate